This is the Long War. Welcome, everyone. Tonight we have an all-star lineup. So joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Stephen Four, and we have a special guest tonight, Michael Haspel from the old Fortune Narrative days.
Oh my God!
The truest OGs.
What's up? How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh man, doing good. It has been it has been a crazy 2 weeks for me. From family vacations with my dad and everything, which was amazing, to air conditioning going out, flat tires, losing money at events. It's been a big last 10, 12 days. So, but putting a smile on and keep going.
Yeah, I don't want to say you're jinxed when it comes to AC juice, but I know when you were up here and you stayed with me, my AC went out.
Went out.
And then your AC went out, and then we went to
after a ridiculously long, hot Friday night, slinging some food, come home thinking it was about to be like a nice 69, like how I like it, and I walked in, it was like 82.
What? Did you get that solved already?
Yeah, for sure. So
I'm about to say, you're obviously here. You wouldn't.
No, yeah, for sure. I didn't die. You know, like people didn't call in local news, man dies on his couch. You know, from heat. But nah, man. My boy Luke came through clutch. Hooked up, got a portable AC unit, straight up R2D2 2. And then my other boy Luke came out on Monday, and hooked me up with Freon, replaced some stuff, and it's running like a champ.
That's what's up. I'll try not to jinx it when I come down this week.
You know, I bet you Mike Haspel's air conditioner is working just fine right now.
It is.
Yo, AC never goes out in the pimp cave.
Yeah, up in the mountains of Colorado, you almost don't even turn it on half the time.
Yeah.
Yo,
it's like 69 locally right now. It's like 67.
I heard you guys had like a crazy lightning storm out there a couple weeks ago. I saw some pictures.
Yeah, just every day. It's been every day.
Gracious. Yeah, I've got an uncle who lives in Alaska. He's got it's called The Rush TV show about hunting and everything else. And we were talking while we were on vacation together. And he was like, he keeps his house at 69 degrees, AC going during the summer and winter. He's like, he cannot stand it. I was like, crazy some bitch. So, man, before we get too much further, it is filling up. Black Tower Terrain, what's up, man? Ready for a great show. Sal, great to see you back. Thanks, man. I just love to be back. I'm so pumped, actually. Getting ready I'm going to play my first tournament in forever this weekend, so I'm looking forward to it. Kenny, he says, absolutely sick, repping that Razor Ramon. Bringing it back. So.
No, my girlfriend was all about this haircut until I showed her a picture of Skull for the Outsiders and W for Life, and she was like, I want to cut your hair.
Yeah, that haircut is dead to me. So, Troy, what's going on? Clay Cruz, checking in. Stoner Steve, always good to hear from you. As we always say, make sure. Evan, what's going on, man? Checking in. While Prime Day disappointed me early on, at least I have the Long War to look forward to all day. Love it, man. Nick, Brant, so yeah, man, got a full house. Make sure if you're watching, please tune in, shout us out so we can shout you out.
Yeah, no doubt, man. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, it's crazy. It's firing on all cylinders. Age of Sigmar. There's a bunch of rumors going around right now about some crazy like plastic Horus Heresy might still be a thing later in the year. That would be cool. We got a new Primarch. There's a new Primarch coming out. X-Wing ships coming out. Gen Con.
The lamest of all Primarchs?
Whoa. First of all, I would argue that he's the coolest looking of all the Primarchs. If you look at
I only say it because I have to shit on whatever you love.
No, I understand. It's in your nature. It's okay.
Yo, he's the Gabriel Seth of Primarchs.
Yeah.
That's true. Dude, I don't care. We're gonna talk about his rules. This is happening. We're gonna talk about some Age of Sigmar. I feel like because Age of Sigmar is still what's up. I mean, it's people are clamoring for this stuff. I mean, sure, there's a lot of food fights going on out there, but man, it just looks like a super fun game.
I'm glad we got you on tonight, man, because I got a bunch of questions about this Age of Sigmar. People are hitting me up, texting me, calling me, like, yo, what's going on with it? How do you play? And I'm like, look, all I know is I can always play with all my Demon Princes and whatever models I want. So I don't care. I'm down. So I'm glad get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely want to talk about some.
I
Some
was
Sigmar.
on your Facebook page and I saw you already painted up that new box set.
Yeah, I painted it in like 3 days.
The new models look pretty paintable.
They're pretty awesome. They're really I had to dip them because I was going so fast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
My cast was
That's
no
fine.
stranger to the dip technique.
Yo,
Yeah.
let me tell you what. Here at Barely Tabletop Quality Painting Services, we have employed that technique before.
Yeah, it works, and the models look really, really good.
Dude, I'll tell you what. There's new Liberators that are coming out this week. The multi-part kits. Those look even better. Like they got a lot of posability, a lot of detail. There's all sorts of stuff going on with those guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. This has never happened before. Kenny Boucher went online and bought some fantasy models.
Yo, somebody find a door and shut that son of a bitch real quick, cuz.
I was just last night just going crazy on eBay. This is like day 11 of my gout flare up.
No.
Like basically I was getting like pain hallucinations and haven't been able to drink through the whole process. And I'm gonna tell you something. I realized I drink every day, and I didn't realize that until I didn't drink every day because of this gout flare. Yo, it gets real on day 7 when all you want is to pound out a couple of bourbons after like feeling like you're in pain all day. So instead, I medicated myself by saying I'm gonna buy whatever the hell I want right now online. And
he's gone. We
And
lost
there
him.
he is. But yeah, so let me. Oh, he's in and out. But let me tell you, I have had that. I'll call that psychosis. The eBay psychosis. I've had that before, and let me tell you, this was before I started doing everything buy it now, and I would still do some of those auctions. And I got saved by the bell by getting just outbid by like 5 cents or something.
Oh, you got wrapped up in the auctions? I've seen that before.
Oh man, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So, Robbie B. Evan is saying here, he's like, will Horus Heresy, will Plastic Horus Heresy have Slanesh models, do you think? Is
Yes.
this a thing?
Yes, they will. Okay, first of all, there's a joke going around about, Slanesh being disappeared. Because I wrote this article like 2 months
giant
ago.
rat?
Yeah, well, no, I wrote this article like two months ago. I was like, does GW even need Slanesh? Because if you think about it, they haven't really given Slanesh a lot of love. And I was like, that's really weird that they haven't given Slanesh a lot of love in a while. So I wrote up this article. I was like, did they need to kill it off? Whatever. It was something to do. And then sure enough, like 2 months later, they're like, hey, guess who's missing? And I'm like, that's really weird. But, and so we just figured out, it's the Great Horned Rat. And that's really cool. I mean, because he obviously shivved Slanesh in the back, obviously. We don't know the whole story yet, but that's what we're going with. And, long story short, yes, there will be Slanesh models in Horus Heresy. I solidly think, and I mean, I've been wrong before, but I feel like my track record is a lot more right than wrong. I feel like the reason Forge World is coming out with all these Horus Heresy upgrades, instead of full-on Horus Heresy models like they did in the past, like say, year and a half ago, now it's all about the upgrades. And the only reason I feel like they would be doing that is if we were going to get some sort of plastic miniatures. And, the rumors came back up today about it. Of course, we posted them. Who knows? They seem credible. That's all I'm saying. They seem credible.
Well, Robbie B, 60% of the time you were right 100% of the time. So, I mean, I think...
Dude, it don't get no higher than that.
That's it, man. So,
that used to be me and my Cosmos mantra when we used to play those double tournaments with the wolf tooth necklace.
That's right. Wolf tooth necklace.
Love it. So Fallen Cyber saying alcohol withdrawal leads to Age of Sigmar. Slanesh is definitely gone.
Clearly somebody needs to write an article about that.
It's true.
Hey Kenny, what miniatures were you buying? What fantasy stuff were you?
Oh, and I bought that little I bought all the models. What are they called? The guys who everyone's painted up right now that look like Space Marines.
The Sigmarines.
Yeah,
No, they're called the Eternals. Yeah, Stormcast.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of those guys because I'm trying to convert a Drago. One was granted from one of my personal projects that I'm working on, and I've just been looking for like a real solid Drago, and I just can't find somebody. I did all my rounds, Skybore, miniatures, checked out High Tech Minis, and all the cool little third-party companies. I just could not find something I really wanted to use, because one of the problems with all those companies is that they have like that weird like etch design and everything, and that's because they still sculpt everything. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, you know what? It just doesn't match anything. So what should I do? You know, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, I feel like I can make one of these guys look like a pretty solid Drago.
Fresh.
You
Yeah,
know
I've
what I mean?
always
You already
loved.
got the shield, hammer, good to go.
I loved I use Hector Rex.
Hector Rex is a beast. I love that model. I love that model.
That is a sick model. Haspel, so would you agree with this? Is what Sal's saying? He's like, Age of Sigmar is the ultimate pretzel and beer game, beer hammer. GW could ever create some goofiness, loads of fun. Wasn't meant to play competitively, you know, and kind of played in a super ridiculous environment. True or false?
Partially true.
All right.
I think it is a lot more strategic and tactical than people give it credit for. Specifically in the assault phase. The assault phase is the clutchest part of that entire game. It's really awesome. It pulls mechanics from a bunch of different games, from 40K, from Fantasy. There's stuff from Lord of the Rings in there. There's stuff from Epic that has cropped up in there that we were like, hey, this mechanic, I've seen this before. Where does it come from? But yeah, the assault phase, like for instance, this is a good example of how it's a little bit more tactical than folks think. You know, normally, say I assault you with 4 different units, you know, across the entire board. Normally, in 40K or old Fantasy, we would pick one assault, and I would go, hey, let's do this assault. My guys hit you, wounds, kill your guys, then you guys hit back. Well, on your turn, when you go to hit back in Age of Sigmar, you don't have to hit me back in that same assault. You can hit me back in any assault that I'm fighting in. So say my really hard hitters have just hit you, but I whiffed, and I didn't cause any wounds or anything. You don't have to hit me back. You could hit me back somewhere else where I assaulted, where my heavy hitters haven't hit you yet, and kill them off before they get to hit you. So that's kind of cool. Now, there are a lot of goofy rules, you know, the whole thing about the mustache, and my favorite of the goofy rules is if you're playing the Duardin, and you're able to bitch about something in a dwarvish manner, you get a special unit called the Dwarven Longbeards for 1 turn. And they get like
gamers are good at bitching about stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to do it in a dwarvish manner.
I've got 4 people in my mind right now that are working on their dwarvish.
Right. So it does have a lot of goofy rules, but I almost feel like those are probably going to get phased out because some of them are very impractical. There's one of them where you have to roll a 13 on 2 dice. Now, it doesn't say 2 6-sided dice. So you could kind of cheat and throw another die on the table, you know, a 10-sider or something to get the score.
Weren't you telling me that you get to, like, shoot in close combat?
You don't really shoot in close combat, but you can shoot and do close combat. They're not mutually exclusive.
Oh, like I can be locked into combat and still shoot out of it, or?
Right. Well, you're never locked into combat. You can always get out of combat.
Thank God. Like, why am I still here? Like, I don't want to be here anymore.
I have legs.
Yeah, but
they still have you know, you can get cut down and run down and leadership checks every 4 minutes.
Well, they do have that mechanic kind of held over from Fantasy, where if you lose, you do a bravery test, and depending on how much you fail by, that's how many guys you remove. That's how many extra wounds you take.
The old school fearless, then, is what it sounds like.
Kinda, yeah.
So that's not bad. So that's better than your whole unit just getting run down.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's not like a sweeping advance.
Yeah.
So it's
how many
very loose and goofy right now.
Haspel, how many games have you played of this now?
I've played 3 games, and all of them, I have to say, 2 of them were with the stuff from the starter box set, and one was a different one where we took on like a bloodthirster, where we were just trying to just seeing how big monsters react in the game. We're just messing around.
So now, how does the game mechanic work when you're starting out? I just have all my models and you have yours?
Right, and that's where it is kind of just goofy because it doesn't have a really easy way to balance things. The rules look like you're supposed to use model count to balance stuff, but the way we were doing it, at least locally, we were using wounds. We were just saying, okay, you're going to use like this many wounds, and then I suspect that as stuff is coming, as more and more War Scrolls of the new War Scrolls come out instead of the old Hangover stuff, we're going to start seeing some kind of structured thing where, hey, you're only allowed to bring 2 hero War Scrolls or 1 hero War Scrolls, or you're only allowed to bring War Scrolls, so many War Scrolls with such and such keyword. Or
0 to
something
1
like
limitations, 0 to limitations.
Yeah, didn't there release some kind of like unofficial email, Rob, to game stores already?
There was like where it was like O2 monsters, things like this, like a unit can't have more than 24 wounds. We saw a lot of that. There was actually like a unofficial supposedly PDF of errata and also some comp rules that came out, and it was subsequently taken down. Whether that was like an unofficial thing done by a game store, a GW store, or actually something the studio gave out to people and they shouldn't have posted, we don't know. But it looked good. It looked really professionally done. So I don't know.
Sorry, guys, I did that.
Good old Juice hold it down.
That explains a lot.
So, Juice, tell me about this tournament you're going to play in this weekend.
Oh, man, I'm really pumped. So Hit Point Hobbies and John Brock is the TO. They are hosting an event. It's actually something that I started back about 4 or 5 years ago. I was trying to get the local scene a little bigger, trying to get some of the competitive scene and stuff like that. And so I did an off-the-wall kind of little point scale, and it's going to be 1776. And it is this Saturday at Hit Point Hobbies. But everything is allowed. You can check it out on the Facebook page, Fight for Mike 1776, or on any of the Hit Point Hobbies pages. And so you can play absolutely anything. I am so pumped. I get a chance to play with my Hierophant. So just to give everybody a preview, what you're going to be seeing from me is a Hierophant, 2 Flying Hive Tyrants, a Malinthrope, and anywhere between 80 and 120, 160 Termagants.
Now you said there's a raffle too, though, right?
Yeah, there is, and it's actually a lot of people have been donating stuff. There's some Horse Heresy novels. There is Blood Angel, Death Company, some Vanguards. There's Tim, a good friend of mine, big fan of the show. He comes in and signs on a lot. He has actually custom made some Star Wars stuff. He's got this custom diorama, and the man is good.
Is that the one with the TIE fighter chasing down the X-Wing?
Yep, and he's built in like 3 asteroids in between their way and stuff like that. Like, it's looking fresh. I'm gonna bring some stuff out, and every time.
No, this is for the Fight for Mike.
Yep, this is
fundraiser, right?
Yep, this is a fundraiser for my dad, and so half the entry fees. We've moved the tournament. They're always kind of still on the bandwagon of keeping tournament costs low, even though I think they should be higher. John and them always try to make it $10 or $15. This time we did bump it to a $20 entry fee, which $10 of everybody's entry fee will be donated to my father and his cause, and then all the raffle and things like that. All the auction stuff will be also donated as well. So if there's anything else, even if you can't make it, you can contact myself or anything if there's something you wanted to donate and have raffle off. I know John Brock has also painted a few minis. He's a really solid painter. So if nothing else, if you can't make it for the whole tournament, if you guys are in the area, please come down. I think we're going to have some pretty big names there. Robbie B and Kenny, I think, are going to try to make it down and hang out and chill.
I'm currently looking for a ride. Whoever wants to take me.
I'm currently looking for a place to live.
Yeah, so. I think that Rob and our schedules don't match up, so I can't roll out with Rob this time. So I'm looking for a couple people locally who are trying to get a couple people to go.
Actually, Dean. Yeah, Dean, if I'm not mistaken, yes, is going. He is signed up to go.
Dean's up that way.
Yep. So I didn't think of that either. So we'd like to have a big turnout, hang out, and of course we always do it big during lunch.
So I'm gonna have to ask Rob for an army because I currently don't own any Warhammer 40K models.
Ooh. What? Play some. Luke's got Super Friends because he's playing Adeptus Mechanicus.
Oh, there you go.
So, but yeah, man, I'm looking forward. I've actually, I also, because of a last-minute vacation, I will not see all you people out there at ATC this year. This is it was super sad because this is like one of the 2, maybe 3 tournaments that I literally jones for, that I look forward to, and I haven't missed one yet, and I'm really sad I have to miss it, but just couldn't pull away. We booked a last-minute cruise, so I will be enjoying that. So,
no, that's good. It's. I mean, literally, no one's gonna hold it against you. Everyone's just sad and happy for you at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it, everybody. And just real quick, I don't want to keep going on too much, but I swear it's kind of one bad news after another, but we just found out today, actually, that some lumps that my father's having in his stomach, we were hopefully thinking that they weren't cancerous, but finally got all the biopsy results back, and they did confirm that they are cancerous. They said it's like a 1 or 2% chance, and that they would turn cancerous this early outside of his stomach so fast. So I swear, if a doctor ever tells us that it's like, oh, there's only a 10% chance or a 2%, like, we're literally falling in that. So it has been a very, very tough time. So I'm doing my best to try to keep a smile on now. So it's tough. And for everybody else who has, I'm not the only person. So everybody who listens and does this, my heart and prayers go out to you and your family who has either been touched already or, is in the process of being touched by cancer. I actually put a Facebook post. I wish cancer was a man because I would beat his ass. So.
Well,
yes.
Hopefully we'll all have some fun this weekend. We'll chill out and do some lunch and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And if anybody who's traveling anybody who's traveling from out of the area, we've actually got A-Dog Austin is coming down. He's going to crash at my place. So if anybody is a couple hours away and don't know if they'd want to, make that drive early in the morning, literally hit me up, Facebook message me, give me a call, whatever you got to do. You can crash at my house. Robbie B is going to be here, so we'll make it happen.
You said I could bring my cats, right? It's cool.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but I actually just got a new bed, so Robbie B might not want to leave.
If the AC goes out, I'll leave.
Yeah. It's going to take a while for you, though. I'd leave first. So,
yeah, that's true. Like, where'd everybody go? Oh, it's a little hot in here. Huh.
So Jonathan is asking, what are some units that you can take in the Lion's Blade Detachment in order to take full advantage of their ability to Overwatch at full ballistic skill?
I believe that there's a formation that does that, but also one of the special rules, I think it's Deathwing, does that too. Or maybe it's the other one, Grim Resolve.
I know of this, but I don't have a Dark Angels Codex. I don't even have the New Statesman Codex. I get all my intel from Rob Bear.
So Grim Resolve, count their ballistic skill as 2 when firing Overwatch, which is pretty much everything in the book.
But I think he's asking what units in the Lion's Blade Detachment are good or something.
Specifically?
Specifically.
Yeah, specifically.
Gotcha.
What can he take to capitalize and get the most out of that? I mean, are we talking is Vanguard or is that Stern Guard or?
Well, okay, so the Lion's Blade actually has a special rule called Supreme Fire Discipline. Unless jinking all models in this formation have the Grim Resolve special rule, fire Overwatch using their normal ballistic skill. So that's really good. So
one of the best units to take advantage of. Right. I mean, anything with multiple shots.
All of your let's take a look, because generally all of your HQs are going to have Grim Resolve. Also, I believe the troops have it.
I'm loving grab at Overwatch.
Yeah, grab. I mean, heavy grab, because it doesn't matter if you moved and you're Overwatching.
Yep, that's very true. Because the reason why, you can't kill yourself with plasma in Overwatch. That sucks. I really like the how easy most of the time that it's going to use. Like, if your meta is heavily armor 2, armor 3, even armor 4 guys, grab is going to be able to give you that quality shots with the right AP that you need. To make sure that, all you're really looking for in Overwatch, most of the time, 60% of the time or more, is just to kill 1 or 2 models to pull them out of charge range, right?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
So, I love anything like that. I would say something with Melta isn't necessarily as good unless you got like a squad of like 3 or 4 guys with Melta guns. Just, I mean, a random Melta gun in there isn't as big. You know, it's nice in a squad. You know, I'm gonna throw the dice, obviously, but
things with multiple shots and
Yep.
that kill Marines. Because people, I mean, it's either like, who's charging you these days? You know, Death Stars. I mean,
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point actually. So for the Lions Blade Strike Force, your basic battle demo company, which is very similar to the Space Marine one, right? So your command squad has Grim Resolve, your company veteran squad has Grim Resolve, your tactical
those
squad has Grim Resolve.
are both units that can take like 4 heavy weapons or 4 special weapons, right?
Right. Your assault squads have Grim Resolve. Your Devastator squads have Grim Resolve. I didn't look up Dreadnoughts, but at that point, I don't even know if it matters, like, because all those other things have it. So, you know, right off the bat, just your battle demo company pretty much all has Grim Resolve, and you know, when you're slinging.
I mean, so it seems like grab guns and grab cannons is definitely the best.
Yeah, for sure, and especially now, you know, that your attack squads can have it, 5-man squads, you know, combat squadded with this and this layered. If you're worried about, if you're an MSU army and you're worried about that massive Death Star, layer attack or layer up your units, bubble wrap stuff with cheap 5-man units, put all your special weapons and heavy weapons in one squad, let that get overwatched and do some killing.
Yeah, I mean, and there's stuff in here too that lets you overwatch if you're within 24 inches of a unit that gets charged and things like that. So, yeah, you can really get some layered combos off here.
So, Evan wants to know, so when are you guys going to set up a hashtag bringing the hobby back Flickr pool or something for us to share our projects with all the other veterans?
I don't even know what that means. What is that?
Flickr's like it's like a Picasa kind of picture service kind of thing. We do have over on the Spiky Bits forums. There's a special Long War section that you can post your stuff up on there. Or
there it is. That's the place.
that's a good place. Spiky Bits Hobbies has its own Facebook group. That's pretty tight. It's a nice group of guys in there.
And also feel free to post it all on the Facebook page.
Yep. Long War Facebook page, too.
Yeah, well, actually, we just recently activated the messages there, too. That was deactivated for some reason. So we now have the ability to take in messages and respond to them.
So please do that. Evan, check us out there. Please put it on so we can like it, talk about it. And, you know, obviously, since I'm the best painter in the group, I can kind of critique you, give you some personal advice, let you know what Crayola paint I use, stuff like that. Just kidding. Yeah, Troy is saying I apologize to hear that. He lost his mom to cancer, and that's the reason why he's in Ohio. So I feel you, man. Hopefully you can get back to wherever state you were before. You should just move to NC, dog.
There's a lot of stuff going on in NC.
Let's get some games in. Clay Cruz is saying he does not have a drinking problem. He actually has no problem drinking. He's having one now. Clay, what are you drinking, man? What are you sipping on? Let us know.
He lives up in the mountains, probably corn whiskey.
Oh, no.
North Carolina mountains.
Ooh, I like the little stump hole. Is what they call it. Speaking of, man, we need to. I actually just finished the last little bit of peach stump hole we got from a specific group. Oh yes, the boys.
Are you talking about the Jellics?
Yes, all the Jellics, the Steve Bruleys of the world.
Oh my God.
The pimps of the South.
I can't wait to crush a bourbon with you guys this weekend. I'm like probably 48 hours away from being like completely over this gout flare. And I'm gonna get chocolate wasted. Very responsibly chocolate wasted.
Yeah, so no red meat, straight up vegetarian for the next 18 hours to ensure we can eat all the steaks and burgers and bourbons.
Oh yeah. 4th of July ruined me.
Oh no, that's no good.
The official holiday of eating too many hamburgers in America.
Yo, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got the hobby eye again. You see it there? That's from doing
too much super glue.
Too much glues. And the glue creams going, man. I get the hobby eye. It's weird, and I'm gonna blame Stoner Steve for that because it was his stuff.
Glue sniffing. Oh my God.
I have to turn on fans because like it's a thing.
He's got all the nids. I need to know what high fleet you're repping, Stoner.
High fleet all the nids.
Oh, I'm actually, yeah, there's no exaggeration there. Literally.
People come over to my house and they're like, huh,
That's a lot of boxes of Tyranids.
I'm like, oh, that's some stuff I got to put together. Don't worry about that. I'm
starting to think we should paint them red and black. I mean, me and Steve have been talking about color schemes, but like every time I talk to Stoner Steve, it's literally blood for the blood god this, blood for the blood god that.
Oh, there you go.
I think we should make some corn-themed Tyranids.
Well, I left all the armor plates off, so you could have the armor plates like all red and tight with that red recipe you got.
Man, you know what I'm thinking too? Like some of his big bugs, like maybe some of those doors from the mucolid, or not the mucolid spores, but the spore cysts and everything else. Like glue some of them or use them on like the trigons, or I don't know what big mamas he's got, but like use those as like armored plating. Oh my. Yo, Stoner, just call me for all your conversions, dog. You know what I mean? I have 3 tools.
I mean, you want to talk about the genius who invented keeping the plasma pistols with the hands still attached to them with a coaxial last plasma on the Razorback turrets back in the day.
All right. So, I need you to go with me on this, dog. I need you to go with me on this. How else is a gun going to get fired if a finger doesn't pull the trigger, right? So, I'm sitting here. I need last plasma Razorbacks for all the 11 Razorbacks I got from my Blood Angel army. So, what do? I've got all these Marine arms. Let me just cut their arms off at the wrist and glue them together and put them right next to the last cannon. Like, I mean, are you with me on that?
Yeah, I mean, the logic makes sense.
Yeah, that poor servitor.
Man, well, I'll tell you what. Talking about some Star Wars earlier with that custom diorama you were talking about, man, that got me really fired up to talk about some Star Wars of our own, because I don't know how many people have seen it, but we just dropped our first Wars on Other Front video with Kenny. Yes. I taught Kenny how to play Star Wars X-Wing.
So Kenny finally figured out how to play X-Wing.
Has broke the mold, and let me tell you, he's got one move. It's called a barrel roll.
The game is so tight for what it is. You know, it's so good.
It's a fun game, and you know, Haskell's been playing it forever, and even like Juice, he was like, "Yo, I literally sold my truck to pay for my X-Wing addiction for a while."
Oh, exactly.
So, it is a really fun game, and I'm really glad to have the opportunity to start learning how to play it. And we have more coming. We have 3 more X-Wing videos coming soon in the mix of over the next 8 weeks. So definitely check those out. Right now, it's on all veterans, as usual. TheLongWar.net. Try it for free.
Well, what I liked about that video series is we basically like worked up, you know what I mean? Like we started with the starter, then we added a couple more units.
Literally the no add-ons at all, right out of the box starter.
Yeah, the proverbial started from the bottom, and now we have TIE fighters.
Oh yeah, there's a Millennium Falcon in one of the battle reports.
Oh yes, you know there is. I love them.
Possibly 2 battle reports.
I don't.
Let me put it this way: Han Solo's a bitch.
Yeah, he always shoots first.
I don't want to do any spoiler alert, but Kenny and I are staring down each other during the first movement phase, and we're about obviously like 30 inches away, and I'm like, oh, everybody knows I'm about to move 5. Next thing I know, Kenny's like, what are you about to do, dog? I'm moving 1 and a barrel roll. He's like, how many times can I barrel roll?
That's stupid, Millennium Falcon. The worst one. I played against Juice playing it and Bra playing it. I hate it. Stupid, I hate it.
Yo, we were keeping it fresh.
So icy with that stupid turret. It's so good. I feel like every ship in space should have a turret-mounted weapon. Why don't they? It's preposterous that they don't. The fact that you have to aim your spaceship at the thing you're trying to shoot, that's dumb.
Yeah, there's no joint balls, swivels.
It just works.
All ball joints in that galaxy far away.
No, obviously, dog. They used them all on the Star Destroyers and.
Yep.
Yo, Clay Cruz is saying, can he crash? Yes, Clay. I literally have 7 couches in my living room.
He's not lying.
Now, for real, you will never want to sleep on a bed ever again. You are more than welcome to stay in my house.
He's got the man-sized couches. They're like 4 feet wide and 8 feet long.
Yeah, 8 feet long, 4 feet wide. I mean, you can sleep 2 people on them. You know, I mean, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I've done that. And if we get
I mean, I've never done that.
We might do that. But nah, man. So please, Clay, come out. Shoot me a message on Facebook or just shoot me a text, 910-603-1545. Yo, Stoner Steve is agreeing he needs a dope name for his Hive Fleet. I'm going to work on that. I just want you to know Hive Fleet Lexus is at any given time down to spread on all parts of everywhere.
All parts of everything.
Yeah, of everything. So, yo, I'm going to go right back to Stoner Steve. The best part of X-Wing is the sound effects. I literally was like, Kenny, you got to move. Pew, 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 pew. Kenny, don't forget to move. Pew, 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 pew.
I like how after we did the demo, or we did that video, and I taught him what evade was. We were recording some more battle reports like the week later or whatever, and the 40K ones, and he's like, yo, you want to jink? He's like, no, I'm gonna invade. And I was like, yeah.
Give my evade token.
Give me my evade token from this 40K, and I'm like.
I was practicing my Star Wars beatboxing for like 20 minutes after that first game. Came home doing it. My lady was like, "Stop doing that. That's stupid."
It's not stupid. It sounds legit. No, I mean, it's very similar. I think if you're a 40K player or any sort of tabletop wargaming player, you'll feel the demo. Like it's very intuitive, and we kind of explain things from our point of view, as 40K players or tabletop gaming players. So I think it comes across well.
It's how it's the only way I have to relate to anything. I have to use my previous set of experiences, and all I have is 140K because I'm a pretty limited gaming nerd. I play a lot of video games.
There was some HeroClix in there too.
Yeah, HeroClix is my only other real gaming experience, so I don't have much to draw on. So it was really fun to learn it. I had a lot of fun. But Rob, I think it's time to talk about Persia Rob.
Cats? We're talking about cats? All right.
They're talking about the cat of Primarchs, I guess.
I guess we'll talk about my other favorite thing, Iron Warriors.
Ooh,
cats.
Yo, can I pose a question to Mike Hasbro real quick before we move on? Kind of around the Star Wars theme and stuff. I just want to know for everybody who hadn't seen his face in a while or is new to it, he is a man of all the hobbies. And speaking of battle on other fronts, I was just going to see Hasbro. What other games? What are you into? Or what else is it that you're playing besides obviously Warhammer and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've actually pared down a lot, but lately I've been playing Forbidden Stars by Fantasy Flight. It's kind of like an Axis and Allies of 40K. A lot of fun. I've been playing that. Been playing Conquest, which is again Warhammer, but it's a living card game. Been doing that for a bit. I actually have not been playing a lot of 40K. I just haven't had time. Age of Sigmar is ironically dragging me back to the tabletop because I don't need a whole mess of stuff.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have 3 hours to drop on a game. And we know that's not even realistic. When we're playing, like any one of us in this podcast play each other, it's 5 hours.
Yeah, easily.
Like it's not no 2. When you go to play with each other, your lady's like, 2 hours. You've told me so many times that games take 2 hours to play, right? Because we go to tournaments all the time. And why aren't you done in 5 hours when you guys play? Like, because it really takes 5 hours to play. Tournaments make us play in 2 hours.
Yeah, it makes us play faster, and obviously, it takes us 2 hours to set up. Yeah. Because we're still talking and messing. And so, have you gotten in to Dust at all? That was a game I was addicted to for a while.
No, I have not. I've looked at it and I thought about getting into it, and that's what happens is I've thought about getting into it, and I thought about getting into Flames of War.
Yep.
And right about the time I'm about to make the leap, GW usually comes out with something else.
New Necron Codex, new Grey Knight Codex.
Exactly. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
That's exactly where I was at. It's like I ultimately was like, man, I don't have enough time to play all the 40K I want. There's no way I'm going to buy into another, and I had already bought into the game. But I basically just had to downsize and get rid of it just because I was like, I don't get to play the 40K that I want to. So.
I've been playing actually that Execution Force game, that Assassinorum thing.
Oh,
I've been playing that quite a bit. But I've been playing it because you can play it alone. You can play it solo, and it's a lot of fun, man. It doesn't get enough credit, I think, because it feels like my old school Chainsaw Warrior that I used to play.
I remember that.
That's going back. Yeah, that's going back a ways.
I remember that too.
But yeah, you can play a game of that in a half hour, and it has its issues, but it's a lot of fun, you know. So I've been running that too. Although I'm looking forward if there's some rumors out there about that Flames of War people are gonna do like a Cold War kind of game, like NATO versus Warsaw Pact, and if they do that, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. That's preferred enemy wallet to me. I'm gonna have to
going in balls
A
deep.
little Eastern Front love.
Yeah, that's gonna suck if that comes out. And then I guess the Spartan Games is coming out with some kind of Halo Fleet game.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that. But I got to see how it's gonna play. And if it's like Firestorm Armada, it could be really good. You know, Firestorm's
I
really
imagine
good.
it being similar.
Yeah, Firestorm's an awesome game. There's only so much time to play games, and I just can't do it.
Yeah, you kind of just have to pick your favorites and just go hard, you know. That's why I've never turned back from 40K, because they keep coming out with new things that entice me to bring me back into it every time.
Well, I feel like we're gonna have a couple of weeks, if not a month or so, of downtime here with the Age of Sigmar stuff coming out. So we'll be able to breathe, but then they'll bring us back.
I'm happy about that. I'm happy for a downtime for a minute. Like, give my brain cells time to recharge.
For real, man. Because it's the summer. Everybody's got stuff going on. Obviously, like, who's got time to keep up with 40K right now? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I'm sorry, Robbie B. I'm not familiar with this. So Nick Bush is chiming in saying
yes.
AdMech War Convocation goes without a loss at BAO. Is this the new real deal?
Now,
will we see a bad rep of this soon once the Beats Laboratory is up and running?
Yeah.
What was this? Was this Alan Pajama Pants?
No, Alan actually won. It was somebody else. They got second. I forget who.
They were playing Mechanicum. Is that what you said?
Yeah, they're playing this right here. This is the War Convocation. It's
the one with the free stuff.
Yeah, the one with all the free stuff. And we're gonna see these at ATCs. Trust me, we're gonna see these. This is what I've been screaming about. Like, I play Lucas, Juice's friend there, and man, he wiped the floors with me, and I was like, yo, this shit's the truth. Like, there is some really good stuff in Mechanicus. There's some dirty tricks, and then when you give them free points, just like the Lion's Blade Strike Force and just like the Gladius Strike Force, it just gets bananas. Like, the power level just like phenomenally increases.
I mean, we were just talking about how much we hated Wave Serpents. Just imagine Wave Serpents that were graph, that shot hundreds and hundreds of shots a turn, that have special secret little snuck in there. If you roll this, you get -1 to somebody's ignore or cover save. If you roll this, you get twin linked. If you roll this, you get preferred enemy. If you roll this, you get. It goes on and on and on. So yeah, being able to have all that and still get free points, so the unit can have feel no pain, so the unit can have just one thing after another, is absolutely bananas.
And I saw.
Yeah, we talked about that. We never really talked about Cold Mechanicum because it came out and it was like a whisper, in the middle of a storm of releases, and so we never really got to talk about how cool it could be.
Well, the trick with this conclave here is that what convocation is, what happens is it makes your Skitarii, it makes your Knight, it makes them all Cult Mechanicus faction, so you can hit them with all these canicles and stuff, and you get all this free war gear. So you take a Knight, you get free rocket pod, free whatever upgrade. You can't take the heirlooms, but that's okay. So whatever. Then on all your other guys, you get all this free stuff, right? And what I really liked about this guy's list, and Fallen Cypher just touched on it there briefly, is he skimped on the Skitarii base to it. Like, he skimped on his basically his troops to take Flesh Terrors with a Calexis Assassin, which was really solid. I feel like in the environment that he was worried about invisibility and other psychic powers. And when you factor in all this stuff here and the ability to sideboard in Codex Imperials, like, this is a very, very, very strong. Like, it's on the same power level as the Gladius Strike Force and also the Lion's Blade Strike Force.
Oh, at least, yeah. That's exactly. Speaking of Lucas earlier, like, that's what he's running. He's running basically like 4 or 5 squads of catalytic destroyers and the Calidus Assassin. So when somebody comes up and gets hot in your face, you're like, yo, no more invisibility, you're dead. And he's running pairing in with Space Wolves, with Super Friends, and so, I mean, it's unbelievable what this does. And for the point cost, it's unbelievable. Great ally.
And there's a lot of hidden stuff you can do in here too. Like I discovered when I played Lucas that the electroshock thing with the cataphrans or anything with the mechanicals, they basically get a reverse hammer of wrath when you hit them. And there's ways to do it more than once. It is dirty. It is dirty. Do not underestimate it. It is dirty and it affects invisible units. It will get you if you underestimate it, right? So not only that, but there's also this other thing that's really cool. That I personally like, and remember those crazy robot helmet guys, the Dune Striders they call them. They came out with Codex Guitari, right? Those guys move 9 and assault 9, right? Well, there's ways to get them an extra 3 inches of movement and to get them an extra 3 strength. So they're swinging Thunderhammers at initiative, running 9, assaulting 9. When you pair them with this.
Heard that's good.
Yeah, okay.
Heard that's good.
Right.
Yo, Fallen Cypher is like, yo, don't get it twisted still. Fate Weaver fuck shit up. Love it.
I just wrote an interesting editorial, and I gotta rework it a little bit more about why you shouldn't put Fate Weaver in charge of Games Workshop. And it's just a funsy little article that like comparing all the stuff that happened with Age of Sigmar over the past couple of weeks. But yeah, Fate Weaver's legit.
Is that what was Alan playing that Fate Weaver add-on? Well,
I don't know what Alan was playing.
I've been talking to him. I got to ask him what he was playing. But that list sounds amazing. Is Luke trying to play something like that at Hip Boy Hobbies this weekend?
If he can play, if I'm not mistaken, he's got some family issues. I think he's only going to be able to play 2 games. So if somebody else is around, either he'll drop or just play, have somebody else play his 3rd game because it's going to be casual too as well. It is what it is. But yeah, he's basically going to play in the Calidus Assassin, 4 squads of that. The Cadillac Destroyers. And what are those, the tall, monstrous creature guys?
Oh, the Castellan robots? The robots.
Yeah, the Castellan, that's what it is. He's running 1 or 2 squads of those. He's got a lot of faith in them because they can be, half of them have, like, the big P-Fist, and there's, like, literally their own chart that has them, like, double their base attacks or something like that off the charge. Like, either way, these guys can come in strong, and they're shooting a ridiculous amount of AP3 shooting as well that can potentially stack with ignore cover.
Yeah, I also feel like they had that phosphor round, right? The Illumin round or whatever it is. As long as you, if you make them fail a save, I believe they get -1 to their cover, and it is stackable.
That's it. That's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what it does.
Yeah, that seems solid.
Troy is saying
cover save jankery. I hate it.
Yep. So it's like they don't have. This is what's so crazy about this army is they literally have all these little like hidden things that are in there, little innuendos and everything else that are really are clutch when you can get it down. It's one of those armies you can look at and say, yeah, I'm just going to roll dice and have a bunch of graph, but this is also can be a very finesse army by stacking this with this and this and this. And I know Kenny, that's like something you like to do. So an army doesn't get boring.
Oh yeah, that's my heat. I'm gonna randomize my army list this weekend if I can get a ride from our buddy Dean, and figure everything out.
Word dog. It seems like Termagants. I've got a Space Marine sitting on the table right now.
Am I allowed to play on Bounder? Because I might have
to. Troy is saying he wants to live in VA, and Rusty is like, yo, he's with Troy.
Yeah, I heard Rusty might be relocating soon. I think Troy, if I'm not mistaken, is from Virginia, like Hampton Roads area, or he was here with the military or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, VA is great. It's a great state. Like, check it out. It's for real.
Yeah. Stoner Steve is saying, how sick would it be if 40K units with tokens, 40K units came with tokens like X-Wing for missiles and going to ground and stuff.
That.
Yeah, seriously. First off, why don't they just come with those? You're right.
Yep. Like I could see that in the future. Only from the business standpoint of it cuts down on the secondary market, right? And Games Workshop they're the 40K fat kids. They want all that money, so that's fine. And they give it to us. I'll buy it. I don't care. I want tokens. Cool.
Yo, do you know how cool it is? Like, I got Billy Joe Badass, who's the best Razorback driver there is. Like, that's my pilot. That's who's piloting my Razorback. Like he gets an extra inch when he flats out or something like that. Like I would love that.
I don't even know what that. I don't even think is that what we're talking about because I want that too.
Yeah, exactly. Those are tokens and cards and upgrades and stuff like that, like how X-Wing has. They have piloting skills and.
I would love a deck of cards that cost points. I would love that.
Yeah. No, I'm completely with it as well.
Well, aside from the points, what you just described is a war scroll.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm serious.
So you want to play Age of Sigmar?
Yeah. You heard it here first, Age of Sigmar. I would have to instead of going down the path that Kenny did of not drinking and going, I'm gonna have to get wasted and sell all my stuff tonight.
Yeah, and Rusty's saying Age of Sigmar could definitely benefit from some token love. Wholeheartedly agree. Like as soon as we played, I was like, I need to make some tokens.
Yeah, to keep track of everything. I could
definitely
totally
figure out who got activated, who did what.
Yeah, GW's like releasing all sorts of collectibles that cost way too much money, man. If they get into the token game, please have this be the one thing that doesn't cost $1 billion.
Yeah, let's give us some free like data or like.
Yeah, seriously, I'm just gonna use stickies otherwise. Like, it's just how it goes.
And yeah, Evan's pointing out that Chainsaw Warrior is going to be a mobile game. Yeah, it is out. I'm pretty sure it's on Steam too.
What is Chainsaw Warrior? What is it?
It was this old game I used to play in like the late 80s, and it was a single-player card game that was based loosely on like Judge Dredd kind of 2000 AD kind of world.
Oh, word. And so it's a single player. You just played it yourself.
Yeah, you play it by yourself. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
They had the best stuff back then. They really did.
Like the Legend of Soltar. That's what I call solitaire. That my mom does.
Is that a real thing? Yo, let's talk about the truest pimp in the Imperium right here. This guy. You know who he is.
Look at those mean eyes.
Yeah.
Mr. Spaghetti here.
Yo, somebody on Spiky Bits, they saw this and they're like, it looks like the what was that? The Merovingian or something? The painting from Ghostbusters 2, you remember?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Gozarian.
No, the other guy.
No, the Conqueror.
Yeah,
the Conqueror.
The Conqueror. Yeah. I forget. But yeah, he looks just like it.
Oh
I was like, somebody posted that picture. I was like, I think he's right. So, Perturabo is 455 points. Let's see what we get for 455 points, shall we? So first off, he's a Primarch, so he's got all the cool rules: Eternal Warrior, Fear, Adamantite Will, all that stuff. It will not die, Master Legion, whatever. So he's got the Logis and Frag Grenades, and the Logis is a sweet-ass suit of armor: 2+ armor save, 3+ invulnerable. Close combat attacks are always AP2. He's immune to concussive and blind, which could be a thing in 30K. Teleport Homer, Cortex controller, so he can take control.
This guy.
Vigo.
Yeah, there it is.
Ghostbusters.
He can. Yeah, no, it really is. I think they did that.
It is.
That's okay. Yeah. He's got the Cortex controller, so he can control his own personal like Mechanicus pet. Like in that one novel where he's like, I made this little like Warhound Titan. It's Mechanicized.
Yo, was that Warhound Titan made of fluff?
He made a small like Warhound Titan to follow around.
Yeah.
Like Gremlin sized, or
it was like the ones we have, from Forge World.
So like that size relation to him, following him around, blowing things up.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Primarchs are big. Maybe a little bit bigger. Like
so, like the size of my car.
Yes.
So in relation, it will be Kenny is the Primarch and Serendipity is the
my little dog. Yep.
That follows him around and destroys cities.
She is a destroyer.
She is a destroyer. Don't let her near the trash can. She'll do
God,
well.
no.
So what's really cool about him is you've probably seen like the pictures of him. He's got like those dual Ritz cannons, right? So it's twin linked, 24-inch range, strength 6, AP 3, assault 3, rending. Just why not? Okay, Cool. And then, of course, he's got his brother's hammer, the Forge Breaker, double strength, AP1, melee, concussive, strike down, unwieldy, and blind. But I think one of the coolest rules he has, and Rogadorn has a similar one too, if you take him, he may take the Tormentor as a dedicated transport, which is the Shadow Sword. You know, he gets basically a Shadow Sword
awesome.
as a personal transport. With a Void Shield. 455 points. I think everybody should play this guy. Obviously, he's the best Primarch there is.
Yeah, I'm playing 2 of them, dog. I'm bound.
That's my fair and impartial analysis of Perturabo.
Get good.
You mean like this, Rob?
Oh.
The Destroyer Worlds.
Is it Bring Pets to Work Day?
The Destroyer Worlds right here. She heard her name come through the speaker, and she was like, "You're talking about me, assholes." And now her feelings are hurt because I didn't.
Serendipity.
I've never seen her that mellow before ever.
She hasn't seen.
You didn't see what she was doing behind the camera.
Yeah, for real. Probably growling at you.
Yo, literally, don't leave trash cans open in my house, especially if you're gonna put anything in them disgusting. The grosser something is, the more she wants to eat it.
It smells good.
Doesn't make any sense. She's disgusting.
Yo, so we've been talking about this Kaitan for this new Forge Roll Demon Engine Walker. Have you seen that new Forge Roll stuff, Haspel?
I have not.
Oh man, yo! So they got a walking Lord of Skulls coming out. It's got they're making legs for it. It's 525 points. Kenny kind of likes it. I think Kenny's on the fence. It's basically.
I like it because it's the best Night Titan. It's the best one-on-one Night Titan there is for sure in a fight.
Yes.
But Night Titans cost 3 something. This thing is 5 something. It's for. I mean, it definitely is awesome. Like if you play Chaos Space Marines and you had this, you're gonna be doing a lot better than you were the day before.
Or Demon King even.
No, Demon King, get it. I mean, it's an Initiative 5, Weapon Skill 5, D weapon in close combat. Like, so it's gonna beat out.
Who always has a 5-up invone.
Yeah, because he's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's gonna beat down any other Night Titan in close combat. He's got a bunch of other cool little rules like it will not die, etc. Oh, he has Crusader and Fleet, which is really nice.
Falling across the table.
So you get to roll 2 dice to pick the highest when you run, and you get to re-roll it because you have Fleet. Like he's getting the job done, and also now he's stacked because he's a battle brother with Chaos. So like if you take in like I do, I'm always running like double sorcerers, slinging invisibilities around. I mean, he's gonna get really difficult to deal with. Or even if you just use demons and throw a Grimoire on him.
He is literally like one of the best things to throw Grimoire on.
Oh yeah, he's a billion times better than the. He's way. I mean, yeah, 525 or whatever he is. I just wish that they price things a little bit spicier for Chaos, because we already have the reverse problem with every unit in our codex, is that everything is pointed over the top, too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this will be the first guy. If he 400 points, man, please, just give me him for 400 points.
Yo, I was even just thinking, like, man, compared to like Wraith Knights and anything else, man, if they would have inked, and because of the fact that Chaos hasn't had any love for their Space Marines in a while, like if they inked this dude at like 290, 315, like, oh my god,
game changer for Chaos, right? I mean, it's like, and it's like, yeah, I mean, you're gonna give me the 275, 290 point Wraith Knight, and you're gonna give me this guy for 530. Like a Wraith Knight's still gonna probably beat him down, like for the points, because you're getting 2 Wraith Knights. Yeah. And, first off, the Wraith Knights are way harder to shoot down raw dog. With their 6 wounds, with their toughness, their armor saves.
Oh yeah, first off, like a Night Titan is not gonna kill down Wraith Knight, but a Wraith Knight from range ever. But a Wraith Knight, 1 or 2 of them within 2 turns. I mean, this dude's getting picked up off the table.
Yeah, and like they have, because they're gargantuan creatures, they all feel no pain. So it's like a 3-up armor save and a 5-up feel no pain and toughness. They're and and they get cover saves. They're infinitely more difficult to deal with, and they're like hundreds of points cheaper. That is my problem with things like Night Titans being 3 something, and then this being high 2s. The Kaitan, my one problem with the Kaitan, and this is experimental rules. Like GW might hear us and might say, "Fine, we'll drop it down," but they probably won't. And it's gonna be 525. I'm gonna have to pay every bit of that 525, and continue to play my Chaos Space Marines at a handicap to try to win games.
Still, it's better. It's better than the 888 that the Lord of Skulls is.
Yeah, the Lord of Skulls is 1,000.
Yeah.
If you play the Lord of Skulls and you don't put the guns on them, you're messing up. So if you actually are committed to playing the Lord of Skulls and the Game and Kill list, use 1,000 and 3 points. Like,
yeah, without a doubt.
You can take 2 of these for 1 Lord of Skulls. So way better, yes. It improved overall improvement, and I'm very happy with them.
Well, that's my hobby pipe dreaming. I've been dreaming up painting him up and a bunch of. I imagine that the Age of Sigmar came out with a pack of those flesh hounds, those plastic flesh hounds that the one Lord has that's in the starter box. And I was like, man, okay, so I'm going to take like 20 of those. I'm going to take I'm going to paint all this stuff up, and I'm going to have a corn army. It's going to be great. And then
I've been fantasizing about a Demon Kid army for sure, but I think the love of Grey Knights and Iron Hands has pulled me back. So my next personal project that I've been working on, like I said, is definitely going to be Grey Knights and Iron Hands and Blood Angels. This triple source army. Actually,
trifecta.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on an Iron Hands commission right now, so I just snuck in my Centaurians and Scouts so I can get them done.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way I'm going to get any of my stuff done here in the near future.
Oh yeah, I literally have to piggyback on things I'm doing for a commission. Just how it works. And maybe in 2 years I'll have my army finished.
Well, if we're lucky, the rules will still be the same. It'll just be a lot more codexes, maybe.
With any luck.
That's
Rob, you're gonna need to let me borrow 3 Dread Knights and a Drago Star for this weekend.
Wait, are you talking to me?
I know you have those models.
Robbie B's like, are you talking to me? Like,
wait.
Yes.
Do I have those models? I'm not sure. Do I?
I'm certain you have those models, and a large percent of them I painted for you. I have a list.
All right. Well, forward me your list, and I'll run it by the cat committee. We'll see what.
Don't worry. I think I only need about 15 to 15 models.
Oh man, I love it when Kenny plays a list like that.
It's a classic juice list too.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Well, man, we just run over. We can keep going and going.
Yeah, we are hitting time here, guys. Sorry if we didn't get to everybody in the questions here, but we have to head on out.
And record the podcast.
Yep, get our podcast on out here with our special guest.
Don't forget, our favorite comments are going to make it through to the webcast recap section. So obviously, it was a pretty busy night. We talked about a lot of things. We didn't get to a lot of questions, but we see the questions, and Juice is our resident linguistic expert. And
I've actually never misspoken a word. I always spell things correctly.
At all times.
And I'm great with computers. Literally just listed the 5 things I suck the worst at. So.
And obviously, Mike Caspel, his guest appearance is not ending here at the webcast. He's coming through with us, so we can break this down with way more detail on the podcasts right after this. So.
Yep, no doubt. So if you haven't done so already, head on over to longwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content and early access videos. Become a veteran of the Long War today. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.